Good evening. Well, good night to some because it is a little late. But I've had such a beautiful day and didn't really understand why. But it's just amazing how divinely guided life is. I actually did a live post. Hey, cousin. So good to see you on here. I can't wait to get an update from you. Um, So yeah, I had a really beautiful day. I just wanted to get on here and share a little bit about it because really it's for my profile and it'll come up in my memories next year. But on today, 4/5, 2020, I was divinely guided to meet these two beautiful souls, May Monroe and Brittany Ebert. And it's probably, it'd be too long to try to get into all that, how we met, but just know it was divinely guided. And so basically, I have been just doing a lot of introspection and reflection and just desiring spiritual growth. And, if you follow me, you understand that I wrote a book called Heart Condition: From Religiosity to Relationship with the Creator. And heart condition, my husband and I, that has just really been our thing, to lead from the heart, the things that we do or don't do from the heart, right? Not just blindly or mindlessly, religiously doing stuff. We want that connection. So I start doing this work innately on my own. And then Paris, Yvonne, she is one of my daughter's good friends. And I saw her at the salon one day and she was like, "Oh my God, Miss Shawn, there's this girl. Oh my God, her energy. I just think you should meet her." And I'm like, "Okay, well, who is she? Well, you should follow her. She's on Instagram or whatever." Come to find out, I was already following the young girl because she's in the industry, the same industry as my daughter and my daughter-in-law. So I was already following her, and she is a ball of energy. This is May Monroe. And so I was following her from her esthetician and makeup artistry journey. But Paris was talking about something totally different. I didn't catch it at the time. But anyway, long story short, May and I did ultimately, I was already following her, but we ended up connecting as I saw some of the energy work that she has been doing in the community, and she had partnered up with Brittany Ebert. And so really it was just, again, it was divine alignment, kind of how I share with you guys how that newspaper just showed up in my driveway, and the job I now have, the career I now have, was in that paper. So it was like that. It was just these dots connecting and synchronicities and the planets and the stars aligning, and that's how it happened. So anyway, I had a 2-on-1 with May and Brittany, and they talked to me about some of the energy healing work that they have been doing. And when you talk about energy healing, let me break that down for a second. So we are spiritual beings having a human experience. I'm pretty sure that we can all agree on that. We manifest in this earth plane in a physical body. So from the physical standpoint, we need to have food and water and sustenance. We need to exercise and stretch and get rest and sleep and all of that. That is for the sustenance of the physical body. But what we are not really taught, or in Western civilization, in the Eastern areas, they know about these things, but the energy centers, your aura, your chakras, your spirit, right? Your spirit man, your inner man. Now, if you follow the teachings of Christ, you will, by default, do some spiritual work and be able to grow and overcome some things. But his teachings go much deeper than what we are actually taught in Sunday school and Bible study and things of that nature. So I've always been a student of Yeshua, the Messiah. And so when you start talking about this energy work, that's what it is. It's your inner man, healing your energy, your power source, right? Our batteries get low, we get tired, we get stressed, we get frustrated. And it starts to have an impact on our health. That's really high blood pressure, strokes, things of that nature. That's because our energy centers are off. Okay, we're out of balance. We are doing all these things for our physical body, but the spiritual body is not being tended to. So I was guided to these young ladies who are already doing this type of work. And today marks the 1 year anniversary of my 2-on-1 meeting with them. And I'm not going to get into all this, but I was just going over my notes, the copious notes that I took. And listen, they gave me homework, and you better do it. You do it. You do the homework. You do the work. So they really, really spoke to my soul. They resonated, if you will. So some of the notes that I took from messages that I received from them, they told me to write it in first person, even though they were saying to me, Sean, you are a guardian of truth. You are a healer. You are a messenger of divine truth. You are an empath. They told me to write it down in the I am, so that when I go back and study my notes, that I will always, receive affirmation and healing from the words that I wrote and speak over my own life. So I am a guardian of truth. I am a healer. I am a messenger of divine truth. I am an empath. And so they told me that I need to zip up and protect myself. In other words, when we pray for others, we need to remember to pray for ourselves and place that hedge of protection around us, which I have learned to do. And then they told me that I need to clear energy and to protect myself during my transformation process, because I am an empath and I tend to absorb other people's energies, and I need to have a buffer so that I can discern, like, if I'm stressed out or if I'm sad or mad or whatever the case may be, are those emotions mine? Or is it because I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders? So they were teaching me how to protect my energy as an empath, and understand what energy is mine and what energy is not mine, and how to receive it, and then let it pass and release it. And then they said for me to relax, because I'm pretty high strung, perfectionist, just multitasker, just all over the damn place, right? They told me to relax and know that I am protected, that I am safe, and that I am guided and protected for my highest and greatest good. And they told me love and wisdom. They said that I needed to accept that into my space, accept it into my life, and accept it into me, because I am love, I am wisdom, and I am guidance. They told me that. So also they said that I am a medicine woman, that I am basically a healer, a channel for divine healing power, and that there is a difference between demanding power versus commanding power. And if you even just look at those two words, there is a difference there. Demanding power is one thing. That's coming from a place of the ego, whereas commanding power, that is walking in your highest self and walking in your power. So you don't have to demand power. Your very presence commands it, right? It commends it. You just walk in your power. You just be power. So there's a difference. When we demand power, you got to think about like a 2-year-old having a temper tantrum, and they want their way, and you telling them no, and they kicking and screaming. They're demanding power. And some of us have grown into adults, and we still are operating from the ego. We have temper tantrums when we don't get our way because we are demanding power. When you demand power, that means that you are really trying to manipulate or force other people to line up with you and do what you want them to do and move how they want you to move or how you want them to move, instead of allowing people the liberty and the freedom of just being who they are. So we talked about that. And let's see. Respectfully allow myself to receive my psychic abilities and gifts and talents, and that I am deserving of those things. They said that my intuition is going to be increasing, and the ability to give to others, and allow myself to receive. And they highlighted allow myself to receive. They said receive. They said that like 3 times. And then release ego and the guilt of receiving, and ask for help in doing that. They were dead on. I've been a giver all my life, not bragging. I mean, that's not a braggadocio thing to say that you're a giver, because a lot of times you can be taken advantage of, or a lot of times why are you giving so much? You're putting other people before yourself sometimes, and you have not cleared a space in your heart to receive. So other people may be trying to give to you, and you are not a safe place for them to give because you reject people giving to you. And I actually, through meditation and prayer and that alone time and that introspection, a lot was revealed to me about being a people pleaser, why I had a hard time receiving. I had trust issues, so all of these things actually ended up coming up for me as I was doing my homework and doing these practices. So, what else? They talked about the divine feminine, the feminine energy. I've talked about that. I talked about that during Women's History Month. So if you didn't hear me talk about that, go back and find my little videos. It's out there. You can also follow me on, I have a little YouTube channel. So videos that I do that are pretty informative and they run a little long, I put them out there on YouTube so people can go watch them again later. Release judgments about myself and others and focus on the love and the light that is within everyone. In other words, namaste, people. I respect and I honor the God in you as you respect and honor the God in me. Let people live and let live. Why? Because we're all on a journey. The person that you see today on April 5th, 2021 is not the same person that you saw on May 5th, 2020. That's evident. So if it ain't evident to nobody else, it's evident to me. So avoid gossip. Don't talk to people who are gossiping. Understand who your master guides are, your spiritual guides. They told me I needed to get a musical instrument, which is amazing because I am musically inclined. I used to play the violin when I was in the 4th grade. What else? Okay, we talked about different sea salts and scrubs and crystals and sage and Palo Santo, essential oils and things of that nature. How to self-clean your chakras. Basically, they were like no alcohol, eat leafy green vegetables, cumin, red pepper, liquid aminos, no pork, no bacon, I wrote no bacon, no pepperoni, no sausage, no pork, period. They said that like 3 times, which our family gave up pork some time ago. But I will eat a little bacon when I'm traveling. Not even lying. But anyway, we do eat turkey bacon. But they suggested that I start focusing on a plant-based diet. Very little dairy. Also, they talked about the paradigm shift of moving from 3D to 5D, 3rd and 4th dimension to the 5th dimension. And all of this was coming up as we were approaching December 21st, 2020 with the Great Conjunction. So, yeah, the shift in consciousness, the 5th dimension and all of that. They were talking about that a year ago today. They said some people will be around for it. In other words, people will be cognizant of the shift and the change, whereas other people are just kind of going to be on their regular day-to-day. They haven't quite awakened yet, but that we those of us who are here and are waking up, I ain't gonna say like it's our job or duty, but as you begin to wake up and you begin to speak your truth and show up as your authentic self, it will trigger and activate others to begin waking up. Like they're going to start asking certain questions because you're triggering them. Your truth is going to start triggering people, and it will cause others to start their journey to find their truth as well. So basically they were like, don't default and don't backslide to the old ways. This work is hard. It's painful. It's a journey, but you can do it. Then they gave me some homework that I was supposed to do for 6 weeks. Breathing exercises, things to be mindful about as it relates to pride and ego, get outside into nature, ground myself. And I'm going to tell you what, I actually filmed myself. Y'all saw me grounding last year. I was walking to the mailbox every day, barefoot, in the grass, and even on the concrete, and even hugged a couple of trees. But anytime I could get some sunlight, that's what I did. I got out into the sun and just got out into nature. Also stretching. I took a few yoga classes last year before the pandemic got really, really, on 10. There was a little spot right up the street from my house. And Bryce and I went, we had a Groupon, but not long after that, a lot of those doors were shuttering. So I was doing online yoga classes with the Sage Ranch. Maddie Wheeler, a good friend of mine, she hosts business owners on her page, and they share their gifts and talents. And one lady was a yoga instructor, so she led us in some yoga and some stretches. I did that. They told me to address any addictions that I might have. Well, I put chocolate, Dr. Pepper, and chips, and they said, recognize it. I recognize it's an addiction. It literally is. It's not. Why do I say it? It's like because it just be calling me. Like it just be calling me, man. So I could be off Dr. Pepper and shit. Like I could be on my health kick and eating really, really good and healthy. But I notice when I'm challenged and when I'm hitting a growth spurt or when I'm feeling some kind of way, that's my go-to. I want my Dr. Pepper and my chips and my chocolate. It's comfort food, I guess. So they told me to recognize that. And I did. I absolutely do. Wake up from the denial of self and who I am and what I am here to do. We all have a purpose. You ain't just here to be sucking up air and taking up space. You have purpose. If you're a human being with a spiritual, you're a spiritual being having a human experience, you have purpose. You have purpose. So discover what your purpose is. That's what they were telling me, basically. And then what else? Wind chimes. I saw some. It's funny. I just saw some a couple of days ago and I was like, I want some wind chimes. So that's on my list. We talked about certain numbers and how they impact your life. I believe they gave me 5 and 11. May is also an 11, which is probably why I attracted her. And so I have 5 and 11. I think 5 is my life path number. I have to find out what those were. And then they gave me some songs and some frequencies to listen to. So I mostly listen to, if you go like elevator music or when you go to the massage therapist, the kind of music that's playing in the background, I listen to that in my car. I turn it on for Poppy when he's got like a 6-day week and he's exhausted and tired and he needs a really good rest. I play that music for him. I've done it for Bryce and now and the clients that I have been accepting to try to share this information with them and guide and teach them what I've learned on my journey. I've been sharing this with others as well. And then they said, do something different. Like step outside of your comfort zone, which I have. I will be opening up a new business here soon. That is totally out of my element. I'm part of the 40-40-40. You work 40 plus years, 40 plus hours a week, and you might get 40% of your retirement. That's me. That's my life. So being an entrepreneur, I watch my kids, all of them, Sydney and Krishan especially, like they get that from their dad. I have some of that in me somewhat because I've always been like in some type of multi-level marketing, but not even really understanding it until recently getting with experience. But yeah, entrepreneurship is very big like in our family. But my children, they're natural entrepreneurs. Really they are. So me starting a new business, it's like it has always been in my head swirling around, but it's about get it out of your head and get it into reality. Your dreams can become reality, but you have to write the vision and make it plain, and you have to take inspired action to make that happen. So that's what I did. I took a 90-day challenge with Jamila and Vosh Johnson. They started this challenge. They didn't care what your job was, what your company you're with, if you're an entrepreneur, a business person, if you want to go back to school. They didn't care what it was. They just said, join this 90-day challenge with us because they had some very lofty goals that they wanted to achieve, and they invited anybody. Anybody can join. So I did. And I literally was able to check these boxes off and get this new business up and running, and it got it out of my head and into reality. It is amazing. So that is a manifestation story for me. They said to focus on my immune system and being strong and spending time with family. And now is a good time to work on communication skills. We talked about some meditations, guided and otherwise. And then the very next day, I could see that I actually did the homework, wrote down some things, and made some more affirmations. And like, as you can see, from that, this was on 4/5, but from that day forward, like, this is every page. There's no page in here that is blank. So I've been doing the work, and I feel good. And I just wanted to share that for you, but as well as for myself, so that I can come back and see this a year from now and see where I am. So thank you for joining. If you have been rocking with me on this video, listen to me ramble about my rebirth day and these two beautiful ladies that helped me on this journey, I highly recommend May Monroe and Brittany Ebert. May Monroe also is an esthetician, so she does even Reiki facials. So you can receive energy healing, and she will talk with you about any blocks or challenges or areas in your life that you need work with. And just a very beautiful high-spirited person. And then there is Brittany Ebert. Brittany does shadow work. What that means is Brittany helps you call yourself out on your own bullshit. Okay? She helps you to dig deep and find out why you may be exhibiting some self-sabotaging behaviors, self-destructive behaviors, self-loathing, limiting beliefs, things of that nature. She really helps you dig deep and find out, like, some of the things that you may be embarrassed about yourself, some of your gifts and some of your talents that you're hiding because you feel some kind of way about it because it's not readily or politically correct or socially acceptable. And I'm talking about just simple things like being intuitive, knowing how to pray for people, being in ministry, like just not operating or functioning to your greatest and highest potential, not showing up as your authentic self. Why? Because you haven't faced your own demons and your own fear of being the person who you were called, chosen, and destined to be. And that causes you to project. It causes you to be passive aggressive. It causes you to, you can even become narcissistic, or you can end up linking up with a narcissist and become their supply for codependency and toxic relationships. I mean, I was a textbook case, y'all. So anyway, Brittany Ebert is excellent at that and helping you. And then you put them two together, it's lights out. So they had a session not long after this. So this was in April that I met with them for a 2-on-1. And then June 28th of 2020, they had what was called a Summer Solstice Energy Healing Workshop, which I attended and was subsequently activated. And when you say, well, what is activated? It just means that I was vibrating high and I was ready to release any limiting beliefs, fears, blockages. Like I didn't go knowing about activation or anything like that. I just remember praying that morning and saying, God, whatever it is that you have for me, I want that. And I don't have any expectations of what that is. I only want what you have for me. And that's the attitude I went with. So, I had to be mindful about that so that I didn't go in there with any expectations and preconceived notions and even biases and prejudices and just limiting beliefs about this journey. So went with an open heart and an open mind, and my life has just really taken off ever since then. I have peace. I have joy. I just feel good inside about me and about life, even in the midst of chaos, even in the midst of a pandemic. I just know that life is good and God is good and I am good and the people who are around me are good. And so, yeah, we gonna get through this. Anyway, I'm going to close now. But hi, who is giving me some love? Well, thank you. I see the hearts coming up. I really appreciate that. Hi, Rayma. Thank you for joining. And yes, I love you too, cuz. And like I said, feel free to share your testimony. I can't wait to hear more. But you guys have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day. I am here to answer any questions. Hit me up in my DMs, text me, email me, call me, whatever. And this ain't about, you know, I'm open and free to have a conversation with you, especially if you know me personally. But again, I will give more information. I will be dripping on you about my journey and starting this new business. Just so you know, I will have a Reiki studio, an energy healing studio. I, after this journey, became Reiki level 1 and 2 certified. So I am able to administer that type of energy healing to people. And really, it's about the experience of ministering to others and helping to heal others and just giving people a safe place to unwind and relax and clear some dense energy and, you know, however the spirit moves. So we gonna see where this takes us. And I'm just super excited to start a new adventure and step out on faith once again. So I love you guys, and I will definitely be seeing and talking to you again soon. I hope you are having have had a beautiful, magical manifestation Monday, because I know I have. Bye-bye now.